everyone, this is Eric at Galloway Precision. We're going to do a spring install on a MAX-9. We've kind of been working on this for a while with ISMI spring, trying to get it balanced out to where it works ideally without any weird issues that we've had reports of, and had people contact us with questions about other springs on the market. This has been a success so far with all the testing and the folks that are using it already. The kit will come with a striker spring, a trigger return spring, a Sear spring, and a dummy pin, which we'll use on the Sear to hold that spring together. It's a little wonky to put it together until you've done it. It's easier with a vise. I'm not going to use a vise because I know a lot of folks don't have it, so you'll probably see me struggle a little bit with it. So to start with, let's make sure there's no magazine, no ammunition, and we'll just take the slide off. Alright, put that over there for now. Field strip this. Now, to get this apart for the striker spring, which is the only part we're doing in the slide, there's a small hole right there. It's about a 1/16. You can use a small punch and it just fits in there. You'll hear, I don't know if you can see it. It's right there. Right there. Just push that sleeve down. And it'll pop right loose, okay? You just slide that off. A little pinching on it. You see the hole in it right there. This comes apart like a Glock. For those of you familiar with it, pretty standard for the industry. We do not change the blocker spring. I spoke with the spring maker, and he said that he didn't feel like there was anything to gain by changing this, even though it is sprung pretty heavy. He was just concerned about it failing and not holding the striker back. So he said, let's just not change it, and then went ahead and just went with what the experienced spring maker has to say, rather than arguing with him. So push that down, cups will fall off, striker spring comes off. Take this and put it on the striker body, press it down, put your first cup in, second cup in, you're all set, right? Slide it back in, line up the tang, compress it, something flat just to push it down. Alright, that's it. It's a good chance to ultrasonic clean, whatever you need to do. Lube your barrel, across the hood, body, dab here, dab on each back of the rail. Alright. Now, this is going to be the same whether it's a California model or a safety lever model. I've got a safety lever chassis right there I'm going to show you here in a second. It's all going to be very general, and it's about the same. On the MAX-9 you have one pin, it's got a pivot in the back, it's pretty nice. Ruger helped us out on that. I like to point this away from me towards the back, so if it knocks, the pin goes flying, hopefully it goes flying towards the back and not off the bench. Alright, the pin out, you just push up, this will come out, see how it's pivoting back here. Like that, you're good, alright? Trigger bar fell off, no big deal. Cover plate fell off. Alright, so Sear Spring's back here, trigger return spring is there. This has a special pivot in it we're testing. It'll be coming out soon. The first thing you need to do is take the spring out. And you can knock this pin out, but I do a lot of these in the shop, and I can say that it's generally easier just to take a small flathead and let gravity help you, and you can just take this, push it right in against that pin, and push down. It should work itself out. Alright. Okay. Set the pin off the side. And go ahead and take this off. Put your thumb over top, because this pin has got tension on this side. Push it out. Put that over there for now. Trigger return spring. The factory one's grayish. This is going to be one of ours. It's kind of a darker color, almost a black. Got to reassemble everything. All you need to do is put your trigger back in, take your pivot, install it. If this was a California model, it would have a mag plate here with a spring that stays in place, that has to be removed for this trigger to be installed. Okay, there's not enough room for all the parts. We have a California version coming out. That's what that pivot was involved with, that you just saw, the silver one. That will have a different trigger. It'll come with the pivot, the trigger, and it'll be a whole package, and a mag disconnect plate will stay in it. Okay, that's in the final stages of testing, so hopefully soon. Install your trigger, return spring, about 4 o'clock. Okay, take your pin. Let me line this up. Pliers. Okay. Alright, it's all in there. Now, we'll wind this after we get them back here. If you have a manual safety lever model, okay, you'll notice this one has the cutout but no spring and no lever. That's the only difference besides there's a notch in a frame to allow this lever to fit. This comes apart pretty easy. Put your finger here and just wiggle the lever. It'll pull straight out, and the spring pops right out, falls to the floor just like that. So now you've got the access to this pin. That's your Sear pin. Okay, when you go to reassemble this, you can just put it in. The open end's on the top. It slides into this little pocket just like that. Take and push it down in the hole just like that, and then you're going to take and move this thing. Oh, it's fighting me. There you go. Okay, that's how you reset that. Otherwise it's the same. The reason I did that though is because I like to take the pin out, put your finger over the Sear spring so it doesn't go flying, and you just shake the guts out of this part. Okay, when you look at the ejector, you'll notice there's a big hole right here and a small pin sticking out. Chassis has a small pin at the front and a big pin at the back. It only fits the one way. Okay, excuse me. On your pin you have a red side and an uncolored side. The red side comes in from the right side. Your blocker, or lifter, the actuator blocker, goes on the far side. It's going to be set in here. You slide it in. It's not sprung. There's no springs on it. All right. Again, the factory spring is kind of a grayish color. The new one is almost black. The Sear itself is going to sit like this is the top. Alright, you got a leg sticking out that goes to the left side. It will not fit with the ejector in, so it has to be out. You have a short leg and a longer leg with a 90-degree bend on it. The short leg goes down, alright? Just like that. Okay. Take this dummy pin that we send you in the kit, slide it in just like that. You're just going to slip this piece in, bend that leg down. Okay. Get it sort of lined up as well as you can. Take you a flathead screwdriver or something and start working on, just get that pin to slide through. If you need to you can do this guy and push him up. This is just one of those things you gotta kind of feel it out. Alright, dummy pin is out. Push this pin back enough to get room for the ejector. Alright, there we go. Okay, you're all set. Alright, check it, it's still springy, you're good. We're going to install the slide lock lever. Slide lock lever goes right here. Take and pop that thing up just a little bit, it'll snap in place. Go ahead and put you a dab of lube here, here, and here if you want to keep this slick. Not a bad idea, of a little maintenance every once in a while. Tension this thing counterclockwise, seated underneath the trigger bar. Put your takedown pin cover on. Your takedown pin cover goes just like that. Doesn't really matter which one of those in it. Put the trigger in first, push it forward. Lower the back end, it'll rock in place. Make sure that's seated all the way. Well, there we go. Okay, push it shut. Take your pin, tap it in place. All right, all of your springs are now changed. Access panel down, push, take down the pin in, cover back up, and you're all set. Okay, makes a very nice improvement. Still very reliable. It's what folks have been asking for. We did a lot of kind of trial and error and got it really nice. I think folks are going to love it. They seem to so far. Anyway, I hope that helps give you a general overview of the tools you need, about how long it takes, and what's involved. As always, be safe, be accurate, and God bless.